Hello friends, welcome to this video. So in this video, we will create a advanced AI agent. What if your inbox could think for you? In this video, I will show you how I built a smart AI agent that reads your emails, extracts every actionable task and send it straight to your to-do list automatically. So no more missed follow-ups, no buried deadlines, just pure intelligent productivity powered by n8n ChatGPT. So we all have our mailboxes and a lot of mails go unread and then a lot of action items are missed because email is never structured for action. It's rather a mode of communication. How do we extract valuable information from the inbound emails and then put them to some place, maybe in a Google Task Manager or maybe in a Airtable sheet to understand what are the to-do action items for us from that particular emails. So that will help us eliminate any missed deadlines, forgotten follow-ups, or constant context switching from one to another. And to solve this problem, we'll create a AI agent, and I have named it as TaskBot Alpha, which can smartly extract a task. So what if your inbox could think for you and extract action items and put it to some place, maybe to your calendar or maybe to a Airtable or Google Task Manager. So what we will be doing here is we'll create this agent and it will be able to scan your mailboxes on a predefined schedule. You can set it up like 1 minute or maybe 15 minutes or 2 hours. And it will use OpenAI to understand context of the email and extract clear task out of the email. And then it will push the actionable into Airtable. You can also use Notion or to-do list for this one. So no more manually copying tasks from emails and then creating them elsewhere. And it will help boost productivity for, by making emails actionable. So a lot of interesting use cases are there. It solves some real world problem, right? So people who are in freelancing like solopreneurs, right? Tracking client requests becomes a lot of difficult work for them. Another interesting use case will be the product teams that are managing feature feedbacks. So it's not possible for them to go through each and every email. Similarly, HR teams following up on onboarding tasks and so on. So this agent will solve a lot of real world problems. So let's go to our n8n console and get started with it. So this is our n8n console. I have hosted it in AWS production environment. If you want to know how to host n8n, basically self-hosting in production environment, I will leave a link here on the top right side of this video. So let's go ahead and create a new workflow and let's give it a name here. So I'll name it as TaskBot Alpha because it sounds cool. And let's go ahead and save the name, right? And then let's add our first step. So first thing that we will be doing here is we'll add a schedule trigger. So I'll select schedule trigger here. And this interval, right? You can customize it. For this video, we will use let's say 2 hours between triggers. So every 2 hours, it will be able to connect and execute the workflow. And then let's go back to canvas. And then again, this one you can minimize to minutes also if you want it to, work more frequently. Let's go back to canvas. Let me move it to the left. Next, we'll connect it to the Gmail API. So to do that, we will go to console.cloud.google.com. As you can see, I have already logged in here. And here I'll go ahead and create a new project. And let me name it as TaskBot Alpha Connect. Organization will be securityfocal.com. Location is also fine. I'll just go ahead and hit create. So it's taking a moment here. So from this drop down, I'll select TaskBot Alpha Connect. And then we will go to API and services. Here, I'll just search for Gmail API, and I will click to enable Gmail API. So it will take a moment in getting enabled. And by the time, let's come here and I will search Gmail here. So what we want is we want to get many messages, right? So I'll just say get many messages, Gmail connect, and then we'll create this Gmail account once. Okay, this is enabled, right? So next, what you need to do is you need to go to OAuth consent screen, and you have to give the details here. So get started, and here I will give the name taskbot alpha. Support email. You have to enter your email ID. Click on next. Let's select external and click on next. So it's a little tricky, but once you do it a few times, you will be able to do it very, very comfortably. Come, and then I'll say next and agree, and then I'll click on create. Okay, so next what we need to do is we'll go to clients, and then I'll click on create client. Application type will be web application. This name again I'll say passport client 1, and then here we need to define the redirect URL. So to find the redirect URL, I will come to my n8n console, update credentials. I already have an existing credentials, but let me delete them and I'll recreate them. So I'll say select credentials, create new credentials, and if I click here, I'll be able to copy it, and then we need to add it in the redirect URL, and I'll say create. So our OAuth client is getting created, and you can see the client ID and client secret. We'll copy it later from here. Next, we need to go to audience, and we need to add the users here. So I'll again add the same user, Kumar at securityfocal.com, and then I'll click on save. Okay, so we are done here. Next, we need to copy the client API keys. Let me just click on this client here. So here I can see my client ID and client secret. I'll hit copy, and here paste it in the client ID. And next we need to copy client secret, and I'll go ahead and paste it in the client secret. Save. Next, you need to sign in with Google. So I'll click sign in with Google, and here I'll select my account. You need to allow this communication, and our connection is successful, right? So it shows green, which means we are all set. Okay, so here we need to do some configuration, right? So here in this option, you have to select get many, and then you can also say return all, right? But for now, what we want is we'll set a limit here so that we are not flooded for our testing. So I'll keep it to 50, which should be fine for most use cases. And then I'll just disable this simplified toggle, and we will click on add filter. Here I'll say search, and here I'll type newer than, and we are executing it every 4 hours, right? So I'll say newer than 4H, and then I'll say test step. So it's able to fetch the emails, right? So we should be good. I have few test mails there, couple of mails that I sent, and we can see it's able to successfully fetch them. So which means we should be good. Okay, so next we'll go back to the canvas. Let's save our progress here. And then we can fetch the message, right? But we want, when we are passing it to our OpenAI chat model, we want some hygiene to be there. So to inject hygiene here, what we will do is we'll use a set node. So I'll say set, And here we need to add the fields. So on the left side, you can see the input from the previous step, and then we can one by one add the values here. So first thing, let's scroll down a bit, and let's find the correct fields that we want to put here. Okay, so from here we should be able to, subject is one that we need. Text is what is the email body, which is fine. And then we want the sender, yeah, address. No, that is not the one that we are looking for. So yeah, we are looking for sender name, right? So this is our sender, right? From. So I'll add it here. From text, that is one thing, that's our email ID. And then okay, let me just don't add the email ID first, but rather what I'll do is I'll add the name first. So let's drag name here. So you can just drag and drop, make sure you are in a schema session, otherwise it will not work. So I have dragged and dropped the name here, and next I'll drop this field here, email address. So we have got name as well as email address. Next, what we need is we need the subject line. So to find the subject line, let's just find the correct field of subject line. And where is it? Okay, we can see text, text address, text subject. Okay, let's go up a little. Yeah, this is our subject, and I'll just drop it here. So we have got the sender name, sender email, and then subject. Next, we just need one more thing here, which is the text, right? So this is the text which we want to pass on to our AI agent. So let's just select the text field here, and we should be good. Let me say test step, and let's see the outcome. So you can see it's able to filter two mails clearly. We are able to see the name and then subject and then text, right? So it's actually able to successfully pull the details that we are looking for, right? I think I've entered the name twice, so let's just do some correction here. I want email ID after name. So where is our email? Okay, yeah, this is the address field. So I'll just put it here, right? Okay, let's once again test our step. Yeah, we have name and address both. That should come correctly. Let's just go back to our canvas, and then let's add our next node. So next we are going to add basic LLM chain, and I'll just select basic. Let's go back one. Yeah, that's connected. And then we will connect our OpenAI model here. OpenAI chat model. Okay, so here you need to connect using the API key. It's fairly easy to get API key from a OpenAI account, but if you feel and face any challenges, please put them in the comment section and I'll try to assist. And then here you have to select the chat model. Now these emails may have long content and we want a fast response. So it's better to select a turbo model. ChatGPT 3.5 turbo or 4.0 turbo will be good for us. For this testing, let's select GPT 3.5 Turbo. That should get the work done for us. And let me go back. And this LLM chain will do some configuration here. So this section, I'll say define below the prompt. And here, right, what we need to give is we need to give it the mail body so that it can extract the action items for us. So I'll just drag and drop this text here. And next, I'll say add prompt. System is good. And then we need to define the message. So let me enlarge it. And I've created a prompt for this one. Let me just copy this prompt and I'll paste it here. So you can use the same prompt, but I would suggest you make some changes, modify it. Maybe you can extract some more value out of this configuration. And here we are telling it you are a smart assistant that extracts only actionable tasks from professional emails. Given the central subject and body of an email, analyze the content and list all clear actionable items that the user need to follow up on. Only include actual work-related tasks or deadlines. Do not include greetings, questions, or signatures. If a due date is mentioned, include it at the end of the task. And each task should be one short sentence. So we are also giving it a format like task 1, task 2, task 3. And we are also giving it some examples here. So that should be good. And we can try to test this step and see what output it's able to give us. Okay, so first one is deploy the widget. Okay, so it's getting these tasks from the emails, and let's see what are those emails. So we have two emails here. One is around beta testing of AI chat, where you need to deploy the widget, spend 10-15 minutes testing, and then submit feedback, right? Now let's come to our n8n, and here I can see those tasks one by one mentioned here. Similarly, it has also extracted tasks from our other email, which means we are good. So now let's go back to the canvas, and let me just reduce the size a little, and maybe we can pull it to the right location. Okay, so now comes our next node, and again it depends on what you want to do here. What I will do is I will push this information to a Airtable where I'll capture all these details, and I can refer it as my daily task guide. So from here I'll say add, and I'll select Airtable here. And what we want is we want to create records, right? So I'll select create a record. Okay, so this is good. Next, let's just go to our Airtable account. Okay, so here I have a Airtable created, and I've just named it as table2. n8n base is my database that I've created in Airtable. It's free for testing. So what you can do is you can just go and register on airtable.com, and then you can create a new base here. To create an API key, you just need to go here, right click on your name, and from here you need to go to Builder Hub. So you can see I have a couple of tokens created. It's fairly easy. Again, if you face any challenges, please post in the comment section. But for now, we should be good. So let me come back, go to all workspaces, and we see n8n workspace. And here, let's go back to that table. So you can see the fields that we have defined in this table. So first is a single line test, that's sender name. So that should be good. Second is again a single line text that says sender email. Third is subject, which is a long text, and then task, right? So task has to be long text, which it is. And then we have a status, right? So each task will be assigned a status, and then you can come back to this table. And if a particular task is completed, you will be able to close it in this table. So I have created three different options for a status: to do, in progress, and done. So we are good here. And next what we have to do is we have to connect to this table. And from here, let's come back, and I already have my API key configured here. And from this list, right, I'll select the workspace, which is n8n base, and then we need to choose the right table. So table 1 was for our earlier testing. Table 2 is the one that we want to connect, and we want to, of course, map each column manually, right? So to do that, scroll down, come all the way towards the bottom, and then we'll find and map each field correctly. So first value is sender name, right? Where is our sender name? So kumar@securityfocal.com. Now that is our recipient name. Yeah, so this is email address and this is sender name. So I'll just pick sender name from the from field and put it in the name. And then next we need is sender email. So sender email will be the address. And next subject, right? So let's find the subject here. Where is our subject? From field, this is to field, and this is our subject. So subject, I'll put it here. Next, we need to enter the detail of the task, right? So let's go up and find our tasks. So let's just minimize this. Gmail, schedule trigger, and go to our LLM chain. Yeah, that's where our tasks are. So what I'll do is I'll just drag and drop them into the task. Perfect. And then the status in the last. So each task that is newly created is to do. And then I can go to my Airtable and change it as required. So let's click on text test step. And yeah, you can see it has uploaded this information successfully to our Airtable. So we'll go to our Airtable and let's just refresh this once. Okay, so you can see two different tasks to do are created, 1 and 2. And if you want to see the detail, let me just expand one of them. Here you can see that this is the sender name and this is the sender email. Subject is request for feedback. And I have got three tasks. First is to deploy the widget, second is to test the basic flow, and third is to submit feedback. So three tasks are given to me by this sender, right? So everything looks good for us, and what we need to do next is we can just go back to our canvas and we'll of course save all the changes that we have made, and then we'll toggle this to active, so our agent will go live, right? So you need not do anything here. It will automatically keep on executing in the schedule that we have defined. So it's 2 hours, but I think in our okay, let's just do some tuning here. I think in our Gmail one, I said newer than 4 hours, right? So let's go ahead and correct this. So I'll make it 2 hours and then I'll save it, right? And when you make changes in a live workflow, you need to toggle it to inactive. And then again, you have to go ahead and toggle it to active, right? So we should be good here. And let's, for another testing, let me just select and maybe delete these records. And then let's just test the workflow again from beginning to the end. So you can see schedule trigger, went to Gmail and then set and to our LLM chain and then to the Airtable. So we'll go back to Airtable and you can, let me just refresh it. You can already see the tasks, right? So we should be good. I can see my second tasks also. So we should be pretty good here. Let me just close this one. And another thing is, please make sure to like and subscribe to this video. Your inbox just got smarter. You have now seen how a simple email can trigger real action using n8n, ChatGPT, and a bit of workflow magic. If this agent saved even 10 minutes of your day, imagine what the next one could do. If you got any ideas you want me to work on specific agents, feel free to drop them in the comment section and I'll see if I can work on that. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for notification. I have got some more powerful automations coming your way, and trust me, you won't want to miss what's next. See you in the next video.